Is this a nightmare in musical form? Let's find out. Welcome to By Candlelight, beaming goth, darkwave and post-punk straight into your brain. So today I'm reviewing the album 6 Archetypes by Soho Rezanejad. This is not a new album, as it was released at the beginning of 2018. Once you've heard it, you will not forget it. So I had to make this video about it, just to try and bring it to a wider audience. Soho Rezanejad is an Iranian-Danish electronic artist, and I would say that she's definitely at the more experimental end of electronic music. This does not compromise her ability to convey raw emotion, which is evident on everything that she does. 6 Archetypes is her debut album, and it draws on Carl Jung's version of archetypes, which refers to the innate thought patterns and behaviours that make us who we are, that make us human. But even more interesting than that, the songwriting and recording process involved people transcribing Soho's barely audible vocals. So whether this was a process of her recording sounds and then people interpreting those sounds into words, I'm not totally sure. This organic approach shines through as both the music and the voice sound like one stream of consciousness after another. It feels like each of the songs on the album inhabit a different aspect of the human condition. Some are positioned way off into the stratosphere and feature drones, soundscapes that are all finished off with cathedral-sized reverb. Others are more earthbound, with lyrics that you can make out and understand. What knits them all together though is Soho's distinctive voice, which, just to give you an idea, is reminiscent of Zola Jesus in delivery. It would be inaccurate to describe this album as an uncomfortable listen. I would liken it to that period between sleep and awake, that nightmare that you're actually kind of enjoying, even though it's a little bit alarming. Played in one sitting, you do fear that you will be drawn into its world and unable to return to normality. Such is its ability to be transcendental. One of the key Jungian archetypes featured on this album is that of the orphan, which is the essence of the track Searching. Here you have a childlike sounding Soho calling out for her mother against a backdrop of drones and soundscapes, as if she's in another dimension altogether. It's tracks like that that make you feel like you could be pulled into another realm of existence. It's an extraordinary sensation. You know that it's just music, and yet you not only fear for your sanity, but for your physical presence here on Earth. I don't know of any other art form that has actually done this, but I'd be interested to hear from you if you've had a similar experience elsewhere. I looked at the albums of Lycia in a previous video, and they create other worlds and dimensions, but you always feel like you're going to return back to Earth, back to normality. With 6 Archetypes, you feel like once you've entered its world and experienced its 14 states of being, you're questioning whether the door back to reality will still be open. Thankfully though, I am visual and audible proof that you can remain safely on Earth after a full listen of this album. You're hard pushed to believe that this is Soho's debut album. Words that come to mind to describe it are fearless, defiant and compelling. I would urge everyone to give this album a listen in its entirety at least once. I picked up the vinyl for this. To be honest, I would have picked it up on multiple formats, such is my love of this album, but it only seems to be available on vinyl in terms of a physical copy. So it comes in a lovely glossy gatefold. There's not a lot going on in terms of lyrics. There are a few credits on there, and you can see, well, you probably won't be able to see from there, but There is actually a few guest musicians mentioned. It's on black vinyl, so I won't bother getting that out because it's not that interesting to look at. But yeah, it's a beautiful copy. It plays absolutely fantastically, and yeah, that's my copy. This is unlikely to be an album that you will play on a regular basis. It's one to treasure, so when you're in that zone and that mood, turn off all the lights and just play it in its entirety. The imagination that went into this album, the fearlessness of its creator, and the transcendental magic that it weaves means that this gets a very, very worthy 9 out of 10. I cannot recommend this incredible album highly enough. I will leave links to Soho's Bandcamp page below. I believe that vinyl copies are still available, although they are very limited. Let me know what you think of this album, if you return from the spiritual plane post-listen, that is. Until next time, see you later.